Welcome back to the AI Research Roundup. I am your host, Alex. Today, we're looking at a trending paper from June 9th, 2025, titled CausalPFN, Amortized Causal Effect Estimation via In-Context Learning. Alright, so the big challenge this paper tackles is figuring out cause and effect from data we just observe without running a controlled experiment. This is called causal effect estimation. Usually, it requires a ton of expert knowledge to pick the right method. What's really cool here is that CausalPFN is a single transformer model that automates this. It's trained once on a huge amount of simulated data, and then it can analyze new, real-world datasets right away. A big step towards automated causal science. And for those who want to get their hands dirty with this, the researchers have also released the code for the CausalPFN model. It's a really user-friendly Python library that you can just install with a simple pip command, and it comes with some great example notebooks to help you get started. Now, the paper's title mentions amortized estimation and in-context learning. So, what do these mean? Amortized basically means the heavy, expensive training is done only once, upfront. Then, the model can analyze many new datasets very quickly. And in context, learning is the model's ability to learn about your specific data on the fly, just from the examples you feed it, without needing to be retrained. And this combination of speed and accuracy is exactly what we see in the first figure. This chart compares different causal inference methods. On the vertical axis is the median rank, where a lower number means better performance. And on the bottom we have the time it takes to run, on a log scale, so the speed differences are huge. You can spot CausalPFN, that blue dot, in the top left corner. This position means it achieves the best performance rank on average, while also being significantly faster than all the other methods shown here. It really highlights the practical advantage of that amortized, in-context learning approach. And this next diagram really helps visualize the how behind that speed and performance we just saw. On the left, we see the traditional paradigm. A domain expert looks at the data and has to manually design or select a specific statistical model. This relies on them conceptualizing the underlying causal structure, which the paper calls a data generating process, or DGP. It's a slow, bespoke effort for each new problem. But on the right, with CausalPFN, the process is automated. The model is pre-trained on thousands of these simulated data generating processes, learning to amortize that inference. So this next figure dives into the details of that pre-training process we just mentioned. On the left, it starts with a prior, which you can think of as a massive library of possible causal worlds or data generating processes. At each step, one of these scenarios is sampled to create a simulated observational dataset. This data is then fed into the transformer, which is our CausalPFN model. The model's job is to predict something called the conditional expected potential outcome, or CEPO. This is the expected result for an individual with specific features if they were to receive a certain treatment. And importantly, it doesn't just predict one number. It predicts a full probability distribution of possible outcomes, which also gives us a sense of the model's uncertainty. Since this is all simulated, we know the true answer, and the model is trained to make its prediction match that truth. This whole cycle is what gives the model its powerful, out-of-the-box capabilities. Okay, so this figure gives us a more detailed look at that prior construction step, how the model's training data is actually made. It all starts by grabbing diverse base tables from places like OpenML. From there, the process carves out the different parts of a causal problem. It selects some columns to be the covariates, which are the X variables describing each case. Then it synthesizes a treatment T and the potential outcomes. This whole process is carefully designed to guarantee a critical assumption called strong ignorability, which essentially means the simulated data is well behaved, so there are no hidden factors influencing both the treatment and the outcome. Alright, so building on how that training data is made, this diagram shows what the model actually does with it during training and inference. On the left, you can see the observational data. The treatment, covariates, and outcome are fed into the transformer as context. Then, the model gets a query, which is a new case without the outcome. And here's the key part. On the right, it doesn't just output a single number. It predicts a full posterior predictive distribution, or p-page D. This distribution shows the likelihood of all possible outcomes, which is how the model represents uncertainty. From this distribution, we get both the final prediction and a credible interval, which tells us how confident we can be in that result. Alright, so after seeing how the model produces its predictions, this table really shows the payoff, how well CausalPFN actually performs on standard benchmarks. The left side measures the error for estimating the conditional average treatment effect, or CATE, that is, the treatment's effect on specific subgroups. This is judged by a metric called the precision in estimation of heterogeneous effect, or PEHE. The right side shows the error for the average treatment effect, or ATE, the overall impact on the whole population. In both cases, lower numbers are better, and CausalPFN is a clear winner on average, delivering the best overall rank and lowest error. Now, moving from those standard benchmarks to a more practical test. This table shows how CausalPFN performs on real-world policy evaluation tasks, specifically for marketing campaigns. The metric here is the normalized Cheney score, which basically measures how well a model can identify the individuals who will respond best to a treatment, like a promotion. Higher scores are better, and as you can see, while other methods might win on one or two specific datasets, CausalPFN again comes out on top with the best average score. This shows its out-of-the-box approach is not just robust, but also highly competitive for practical applications. From benchmarks to real-world data, CausalPFN shows impressive, robust performance. The key takeaway is really this new paradigm, using in context learning to perform causal inference without any retraining. This makes complex analysis much faster and more accessible, especially for practitioners who need reliable answers on the fly. It's a fascinating step forward for causal machine learning. Well, that's all for this AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Alex.